Management is certainly one of the key components that I look for when I want to invest in a junior mining resource company. And a lot of investors divide that assessment into the strength of the project on one hand and the strength of the management on the other. However, in saying that, I do that as well, but in saying that, I don't think a top tier management team would bring a bad asset to the market. I don't think that that shows necessarily a lot of integrity and honesty when they bring maybe not a mediocre project, but a bad project to the market. So, what do I look for in management? I would say the number one is proven management from past experience. So, did that management team or CEO sell a junior resource company? Did they get it into production? Getting a company into production is much harder than a sale. It seems to be there's a lot less management teams out there capable of getting a junior resource into production. So that's the number one thing. How the share price do with the last company that CEO or manager was involved in as well. Number two is, do they own shares in the company? So am I as a shareholder have the same interests as the management? If the management has that incentive for the share price to go higher, then your interests are aligned and they're not just there to collect a salary from the company, and everyone benefits then too when the share price goes up. Also, I look for really efficient allocators of capital. You don't want to see a very high per ounce discovery cost. You'll see them raise 30 or 40 million and discover very few ounces of gold or silver or pounds of copper compared to a lot of other companies. So you want to see maybe 70 or 80% of that money raised going into the ground. And sort of the more, the better, of course. Also, timely financing. This gets a lot of backlash, I find, from investors when a company tries to raise a lot of money at the bottom of the market, like what we're in now, or just when the share price is really low. And I also prefer myself as a shareholder that the company, especially the smaller ones, slow down a little bit more, a little bit less work when the market is really slow like it is now, or if it's a tiny company, even laying low and not raising any money can be an option that makes sense in a really bad market. Even though if you're not doing anything, that's also not good for the share price. So a management that finds that balance and pays attention to the market. It does depend a lot on the size. I seen Goliath is raising $20 million, but their share price is, I think, around $1.90. So the share price is high enough to kind of warrant a big raise like that in the market, even though the market is definitely suffering right now. And Goliath has been able to pull off those little bit bigger financings in the past. So it is working for them, even though the market has been slow over the last, 2, 3 years here. Also, you like to see them follow through on their plan. You want to see them do what they say they're going to do. A lot of companies won't. I understand that it can be because the market goes south on them. So those plans end up getting delayed because the market is so bad. But you do want to see management that does what they say. It really helps to build up trust in the management and also just honesty and integrity. I think that goes with number five. It's really maybe that should be the first one. And I would like to give a shout out to one of the best management teams, and I do own shares in this company, is Equity Metals. They've had some very strong management in the past with that company. So I would like to mention them. They really fill all six of those points above. So right now, management is taking, I think, a lot of heat because we are in sort of that trough of that sentiment cycle here. And so, it might be a little bit unfair the amount of blame being placed on the management right now at the bottom of the cycle. And you'll see the opposite once the market becomes euphoric, that the managers will get extra credit. So it'll kind of come back to them in the end. Okay, guys, just wanted to give you my thoughts on what I look for in management of a junior resource stock. Again, none of this is financial advice. Please do your own research, and we'll see you in the next one.